Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It is my mother's 74th birthday, had she been alive. And you know what it makes me think about? It makes me think about Mary and Frank, my adopted parents. My mother died when I was almost 5 years old. And it took me years and years and years to get through all that process. And about, 5 years ago, I was at an event in Steamboat, Colorado. I meet this couple that's super nice. We all go to dinner, a group of people, including the Attorney General for South Carolina. And I say to Mary, who has no children, you know what? I'm adopting you guys. And we laugh together. And sure enough, Mary starts calling me son. I call her mom. Frank's pops. They own a manufacturing company. And I'm planning a trip to China with them. They've let me use the condo. They've adopted me and my circle of family and treat me like a son. Seriously. Donated money to my charity. Was coming back from their place in Florida and said, hey, son, we're going to stop into St. Louis and we're going to come by your charity event. They came by and went, holy cow. This is amazing. It was at the Cardinals Club. They wrote a check to help kids get adopted, helped me get 2 kids adopted. Sight and see. When I told them, here's a charity, swing through if you can, they said, we're going to redirect our flight. We're coming through to spend a couple days with you. Came to town and did it, and the rest is history. Come to Denver, spend time up here in the summer. We got a horse ranch, blah, blah, blah. And here's the deal for all of you who say, Kevin, you didn't grow up with a silver spoon, but you adopted into one. Yes, I did. I did not want to adopt poor people as my new parents. But on the anniversary, my mother's birthday, it's not the anniversary of my mother's birthday. It is her birthday today. I give a tribute to Beverly Jean, a woman that I obviously love very dearly and wish I could have spent more time with, but also give a tribute in her memory to the people that stood in and substituted, like my grandmother. What an amazing lady. I mean, in so many ways, imprinted on me, ways I cannot describe, that I could never pay back, except to obviously pass it along to my grown men, children. But it just is amazing to think about all the ways that she impacted me. And now, in my, older years, adopting my new parents, Mary and Frank. So it makes me think of all of that. Just such a tribute. What an amazing lady. Tell the story of my grandmother with her best friend, Chris. I called her Miss Chris growing up. She had a daughter named Joanne who I thought was just the hottest thing out there. She babysat for me. Beautiful lady. And anyway, Miss Chris was a beautiful lady too. And they went to visit a psychic. And my grandmother hated psychics. She thought it was the devil and all that kind of stuff. She was like, it's evil stuff. But Chris goes, I just want to know what's going on with me and Cleve. She's married to a guy named Cleveland. And so they stopped in with the psychic, and the psychic, said, did Miss Chris's reading or whatever, and said, you seem troubled. And so read my grandmother and says, someone close to you is going to die quickly. This was in March of 1968. And my grandmother's like, whatever, it's probably going to be my husband because he's 10 years older than I am, blah, blah, blah. So she just dismissed it. I mean, not that she was just being flippant about the death of the grandfather that raised me, Daddy Ernest, but she was like, well, that's the way life works. And 2 months later, my mother died. And that was the beginning of a lot of trauma in a strange kind of way in my life. And I will tell you this, in as much as, there's nobody that doesn't want to spend their lives with their parents, with their mom particularly. And my mom had remarried a guy named Tommy. And I eulogized him when he died. But as much as I would love to have my mom back, I got to tell you, life has a way of dealing you these blows that makes you who you are. And I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it. Because I don't know what I'd be. Who knows? But and am I saying I wouldn't be the person I am or wouldn't be? No, I wouldn't be. And it doesn't mean I'd be bad. I just don't want to change it. I know now what all of this led up to. It's kind of like Joshua being sold into slavery by his brothers, and then he saves Egypt. I feel, and by the way, I'm not trying to say I'm Joshua and going to save the republic, but in my own small way, I'm doing something. And I don't know what God's plan is for that, but I am doing something. It's not what I wanted to talk about this segment, but I do want to make sure you guys understand that it is my mother would have been 74 today, but what's a bigger issue to me is on May the 1st of this year will be the 50th anniversary of my mother's death. Yeah. Same year Martin Luther King died. April the 7th is the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King. And I remember that day because of my mom. One of those vivid memories of my mother. I'm so grateful to have it. I hate the circumstances. My mom and my grandmother hugging each other and sitting there watching that TV in the den is they're broadcasting. It was Cronkite broadcasting about the death of Martin Luther King and the impact it was having around the country, the assassination by a Democrat, racist member of the KKK. Yeah. Can't let those things slip by in the radar. That's why we're going to be working on something for April the 7th to remind people that the Democrats killed one of the greatest men of the civil rights movement. Yeah. Lots to talk about. I had a dream. I'm going to talk about this dream in a second. For now, I'm going to talk about Emily. I don't know her last name, but she's a model, a supermodel. And she got married. I saw this over the weekend. She got married. And she was in the movie where Ben Affleck's wife pretends to be dead. And she played his girlfriend. Beautiful girl. I'd never heard of her prior to that. But just remember thinking, wow, she's really pretty. And so she got married. And there was a time when I'd see a chick like her get married. And I would have said, boy, her husband's a lucky guy. I mean, she's gorgeous to look at. But then I remember she's a lefty. I don't remember what the cause was, but I just remember the minute that she opened her mouth about what it was, like the women's movement, and I remember thinking, what? Talk about, just going from being up here, an actress I'd never seen and who did a really good job in the film, to somebody that I went, zero respect instantaneously. And I think that's how I view the Democrats in general. And I think a lot of people are coming to that conclusion.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful 4-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville. Can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanYourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.